Something I'm really conscious of whenever I watch really big YouTubers for 40k do videos and bat reps is that they have really good battle mats. And to be honest, I've never had one that I've bought. I always just kind of make my own. There's grass ones that I use on all my other videos. To be honest, that was the first time I tried that way of doing it and it fell apart a bit. But now I've actually gone ahead and made a fairly successful cityscape battle mat. And I wanted to do a quick video just to sort of show you how you can go ahead and make one yourself for very cheap. I think I must have paid, honestly, like between £5 and £10. What's that, like $10, $15, like all in for this. I'll leave links to everything that I used. Everything's just super cheap, just like ridiculously cheap. Yeah, so, oh, that's my kids shouting in the background. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. This is how I made it. So the first thing to get is actually some canvas dust sheet. You can get this super cheap on eBay. It's a bit more expensive on Amazon, but you can get it online. I also ironed it to get rid of any wrinkles. Next up is kitchen acrylic. I think I got this in Home Bargains for about £1 a tube. And also just black acrylic paint, just mix it all up. Yeah, it was actually really tough going. I had to do it in a few steps. Eventually I ended up with this grey paste and then using some like filler or plastering tools, basically just lather it on. I was a bit worried about it going through to my table, but that wasn't too bad. Here you can see I've started to, once it's all flat, basically get some texture going. It looks a little bit like sort of ganache or something on chocolate cake, which isn't ideal, but sometimes concrete does look like that. I also had to go with some tiles, pretty messy looking tiles, but I'll go into more detail about that in a minute. The roads are kind of flat, again, more tiles. I basically was just experimenting with different areas, divided up with some kind of road. Here I've taken the tape off. You can see it's actually left some really quite nice sharp like lines where you take off the acrylic as it's still wet. Here I put some MDF terrain on and some other junk terrain on just to sort of get an initial feel for it. And actually I already kind of liked it at this stage, even though it was just dry acrylic. I kind of thought, hey, that looks pretty cool. You know, it's like I've played on worse, especially when I was a kid. Here you can see I've started to put down a lot more colours with the airbrush. I've put some browns on, I've put a lot of grey on. I've also put some greens on. The white, I'll show you the stencil I used in a minute to do the road markings, but I put some brown on that with the airbrush above the white lines just to show off that a bit. Here you can see the tile effect that I've done just to kind of try out, you know, get some tile looking areas there. And what I actually did to make this was I free-handed those lines just with the scraper kind of deal, just parallel kind of equidistant lines. Yeah, just to kind of, and I think it was worked out okay. I dry brushed that section, put some green on it and some brown, as you can see, with the airbrush, just to kind of break things up a bit. But yeah, I mean, it's obviously messy, but you know, that's not a terrible thing. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how that looks, to be honest. For the road markings here, I used this stencil that I made, just using a straight edge, like a metal rule, just to get the parallel lines for the side of the road. I used tape, yeah, then dabbed it with a sponge. I also used the tape to measure the distances between the road markings. And then, yeah, basically with the sponge, dab, 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 and then align it and then move along. When you're just dabbing the paint on, it actually dries very quickly. Because the white was very brilliant white, I basically put some brown spray airbrush on here, just to kind of dirty it up a bit, and I think that looks good. You know, that looks like dirty roads, basically, and if you're doing a post-apocalyptic scene or whatever, or a battlefield, then you kind of want a bit of dirt on there. It's not like it's been freshly painted by the council or something like that. Here I've gone for a kind of different effect, just kind of, you know, different like storage areas or building areas. Here's some very messy freehand tiles. That area looks worse than the other. Here I wanted a kind of muddy sort of, I don't know, like a parking area or something like that, you know, where it comes into the road a little. You could have a wrecked vehicle there. Yeah, kind of happy with it overall. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like usable. Like, I've definitely played on worse. One thing I did do, I folded it up. So what you're seeing now is it's actually been folded up for, what is it, like 2 months, and then rolled out. And this is how it looks now. It doesn't look terrible. I don't know if I need to take a hairdryer on it to dry it out or something like that. Or, sorry, to melt the plastic rather than, you know, maybe make it flatten out. Or I'm not sure what the best solution is. Put a very flat, heavy thing on it is probably the best thing, but, you know. So thanks for watching the video, and I hope you have some luck making something like this of your own. Let me know if you're going to try it out. I definitely recommend it. See how bumpy it is here. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to do, and thanks for watching Peacetime Painting.